Those first few years of contracting left me with PTSD. I am messed up still. Today, we're going to talk about the one thing that changed my contracting career for the better. As a contractor, as an entrepreneur, as blue collar, we typically fall into the trap of trying to do everything on our own. We try to do everything like we're going to figure it out. We don't need nobody's help. I want to put my name on it. It's the pride, it's the ego that comes with opening up and owning your own contracting company. And yes, that is a major plus. You need to go in with the headspace of you will succeed. But that attitude of I can do it all on my own, I don't need no help, I want to do everything, I want to micromanage myself, do everything, have my hands in the jar, can now lead us to our own downfall. Why is that? Is because we don't understand to run a business, to be a true business owner, we have to develop systems. Systems are what helps us keep our business running smoothly and has our standards being held to the highest level. It helps us prioritize and it helps us basically at the end of the day leave a lasting product. But what's so difficult about systems, especially when it relates to contractors, is we are primarily in a hard skill industry versus other companies who may be soft skill. In hard skill industries, that is what demands from us to get the job done right the first time, get in there, get dirty, get our hands dirty. Soft skills, on the other hand, helps us develop the business to run smoothly and sometimes, if you do it right, without us as the business owner. But we understand that can be very difficult because so many of us are terrible at school. True or not? The reason why we got into the skilled trades was because the stigma is we weren't smart enough to cut it at school. We learned differently. We decided, hey, I don't understand. I can't sit down. I'm fidgety. I got that ADHD, all the different alphabets. But what we need to understand is now that you're a business owner, now that you assume this new role, you have to work on soft skills. So how can you develop systems in a hard skill focused industry with soft skills? Well, that's a very important question to ask. And everyone has a different formula for themselves. But we want to keep in mind, we want to keep the focus on for growth, we need to continue to develop systems so we don't just keep grinding. Growth, not just grind. Keep that in mind. You can only grind for so long. You can only grind for so long. You need systems in place to replicate yourself, to duplicate processes, to streamline and have your business run more smoothly. So, what are systems? Well, let's break it down because you need systems in place for your hard skills and you need systems in place for your soft skills. The hard skills of business, we understand that's the backbone of your company. That's doing the physical work, getting your hands dirty with the tools, doing the install, providing a reliable product or service to the homeowner, the end user. So, with systems, we usually typically develop what's known as, and I'm going to throw a whole bunch of letters at you, the alphabet. SOPs. SOPs, Standard Operating Procedures. That describes the day-in tasks. What are you going to do? How do you handle this? I remember when I was going through school, we talked about the order of operations. There's things that you have to do before something else. For example, you get in the car, you put on your seatbelt. You turn on the ignition and you go. There's an order of operation. You can't just go because you didn't turn the car on. The same thing when it applies to business and contracting. There's many orders of operations. For example, you can't just throw electrical wires everywhere without no framing. So there's an order you have to follow. So those standards of operation helps us do the day in, day out tasks. But then we also have what's known as QCs, quality control. Quality control is very important because it makes us check if we followed our SOPs in order. Some SOPs have quality control at the final step to now check everything. SOPs, QCs, keep that in mind. How are we going to grow? We have to follow the systems. We have to have quality control to make sure we did everything properly and in order. Now we jump to soft skills. Just like hard skills, soft skill too has systems in place, SOPs and QCs. But we understand that the tasks are different. Some soft skills tasks include communication with the homeowner, customer care, invoicing, scheduling, making a schedule for your employees, as well as updating the schedule for your customers, your end user. All these things require SOPs. For example, what time does the crews check in? Do they know where they're going? Do they have their assignments for the days? Did we follow up with the homeowner that we are on our way? What's our ETA? Is there any delays? After the job is completed, give them a recap, give them some photos, give them the invoice, all the way down to referrals, and then follow up on emails. Those are SOPs for the soft skill side of things, the administrative side of things. You too can have quality control in soft skills. You want to make sure, hey, did we follow up with the homeowner? Yes. Did we do a job well done? Yes. Was there any issues? Yes, there was. Well, how do we handle that? Let's go back to step 2. Let's speak with the customer, figure out what we could do to resolve those issues. So when it comes down to hard skills or soft skills, we understand there are systems in place. For contractors, we want SOPs and QCs. Those helps us to follow with what we need to do to provide a product and service to the end user. Now, how do you develop products? For example, how do you develop a system for your products? We're going to be tackling that in our next video. Do you have SOPs? Do you have an order of operation? Do you have crews where you can now delegate these tasks to? Those are some things to keep in mind about. So what do you guys think? Are SOPs and QCs needed in everyday contracting? Or am I just making this up? Comment down below. Let's see you on the next video.